All right, West Virginia fans, another Monday, another very busy day around the West Virginia football program. This is as crazy of a season that I can remember with all the moving parts going on with the West Virginia Mountaineers. So, Rich Rodriguez this year decides to do his radio show on Mondays. So news leaks out a little bit quicker on Mondays than Neil Brown's Thursday shows. So in today's episode, I'm going to talk about some of the things that came out at West Virginia today because there was a decent amount of stuff that came out today from West Virginia. So before we do that, if you're a West Virginia fan, please remember to like and subscribe to JerseyEER. We are approaching that 500 subscriber mark. I want to get there soon. We already have Coop in here. Coop, what's up? Appreciate you, man. Definitely spread the word. Oh yeah, I was at the radio show today. Nice, good stuff, man. So, how was it in there, Coop? Let me know how it was. How was the vibe at the radio show? I would definitely love to hear that before we even start because I feel like sometimes those radio shows can be a little awkward. Sometimes when the team is struggling. So definitely let me know what the vibe of that was today. If you were at the radio show, that's pretty cool. Would love to get there, but unfortunately, being in Jersey, it's kind of hard to get to Keglers from where I'm at. But let's get into the news that happened today at West Virginia. So let's talk about this news that came out today. Jalen Henderson has been ruled doubtful for the West Virginia Mountaineers. So Jalen Henderson is a guy that has really struggled this year, and I'm really surprised by the struggles that he's had this season. If you look at his stats, just 7 for 18 passing, only 50 yards passing. That's not too great for a guy that's started a game and a guy that came over from Texas A&M that seemed like he had a lot of promise. He has 146 yards rushing, so he's beaten teams with his feet a little bit, but just a disappointing tenure for Jalen Henderson overall in his West Virginia tenure. So he's doubtful. And I'm not sure if that's exactly a bad thing for West Virginia, right? I know we're going to talk about the future coming up with the young guys, but Jalen Henderson looks like he's going to be doubtful for this week, which is going to give the young guys some opportunities. Coop has an update from the show. Good. Rich Rod was calm today, which is usually cracking jokes with Tony. Yeah. So Rich Rod seemed calm today, which is good. I think he's not panicking. I think he kind of sees the writing on the wall with this team for this season, right? Some people are even calling it a year zero. I hate calling it a year zero because I think I had higher expectations for that, but that might be kind of where we're at with this team at this point is a year zero. So like I said, Jalen Henderson is going to be out for the or not out, but he's going to be doubtful for this game. All right, the future is now question mark. So this week it seems like we're going to see more of Khalil Wilkins and Scotty Fox. Let the debate begin. Let me know in the comments which of these guys that you like better. Do you like Khalil Wilkins better? Or do you like Scotty Fox better? Coop actually says we need to give Max Brown a chance. Yeah, so Max Brown's a guy that we've seen play maybe 1 or 2 plays this season. So we might give him a chance, but right now it seems like it's going to be Fox or Wilkins. Personally, I really like the idea of Scotty Fox, and the reason I like Scotty Fox is, yes, he had those interceptions versus Pittsburgh, but if you take those away and look at the other plays that he's made this season, he's come in and he's really sparked the offense. He's really popped off the screen. When Scotty Fox is in there, he's made a lot of dynamic runs. He's made some nice throws. And I just like the moxie that this guy has. So, in my opinion, I think Scotty Fox should be in line to start, in my opinion. Just because the other guys have had their opportunity, they haven't done that great with that opportunity. So I wouldn't mind seeing the true freshman get some time. And who knows if Scotty Fox can come in maybe this week and show some things against the beatable UCF team, that would be great. I think UCF is the most winnable game we've had on our schedule since the Pittsburgh game. So this could be a really big opportunity for Scotty Fox to get some time here and shine. Coop thinks that Scotty should start. I agree. I just mentioned. Khalil is the best passer, yes, and he can run. Let me see what you got here. Jumping the gun here. Khalil is the best passer. Yes, he can run. I can't see because the thing's up. But not as good as a passer as Scotty. And Scotty can run it too. Yeah, I think Scotty's very dynamic, and I would like to see him get a chance. Scotty is the next Pat White, literally. Let's hope, right? I mean, that would be some big shoes to fill. I don't think he has to be Pat White, but he definitely has to be better than what's been on the field this season. So I'm excited to see what happens with these guys. I think that's what everyone's going to be watching most of the games this year is the quarterback competition, right? This is a quarterback competition for next year. And I think that also there'll be a guy that they bring into the transfer portal. We've said that a bunch of times here, but it seems like for this week, it's going to be these two guys and let the fun begin there. All right, let's talk about some other stuff that happened at West Virginia's day today with Rich Rodriguez's press conference. Ashton Woods out for the season. He has 15 tackles this year, 7 solos and 8 assisted tackles. I was disappointed to hear this news today. I know his injury didn't look great against BYU last Friday, but this is a guy that's a freshman that we brought over from North Carolina that I thought looked pretty promising. And I wanted to see what he could do for the remainder of the season because he might be a piece that we have answered for next season. If you remember, 10 out of the 11 starters on defense have no eligibility after the season. So it was important to see what we had at the defensive position. So now Ashton Woods is going to miss half the season. It just really stings because, like I said, I think this guy's a promising player. You have him and Ben Bogle. So those guys could have got valuable reps for next year. And now it's just another setback for this guy's career. So we hope Ashton Woods well, but it seems like he's going to be out the remainder of the season for West Virginia, which is just a tough blow. Landon Livingston should be back. So this is an important piece to the West Virginia's offensive line. I know the offensive line hasn't been great this season, but having Landon Livingston come back should help the offensive line a good deal. Again, I think we're playing a very winnable game versus UCF. So to get Landon back and to have positive momentum going into next year would be great. If Landon Livingston can step up his game, he might be a piece on the offensive line that we don't have to worry about. So instead of filling 5 offensive line positions next year, maybe we're only filling in 2 or 3. So it's important for him to get valuable reps and to continue to grow. But he should be back this week versus here. Coop said, just hope we keep Heisman and Cam Vaughn next year. Yeah, I think everyone's worried about that. I think, everyone offensively, those are our 2 biggest guys. And if we lost them, it would definitely hurt. We need those building blocks for next year. So we definitely need to try to keep them guys at all costs because if we don't have them, it's going to set us back a lot. So we definitely need those guys. All right, let's talk about this. So today I put this out there earlier today. I noticed I was on Tye Edwards' story and I was just clicking through like I normally do. And usually the players don't post anything that's that crazy. And I see the location, Birmingham, Alabama. And I'm like, it's Monday. Why is Tye Edwards in Birmingham, Alabama? And a lot of these players, they don't put any context in their stories or anything. They don't put a caption in, obviously. So I'm like freaking out. I'm like, why is Tye Edwards in Birmingham, Alabama on a Monday when there's a game on Saturday? So I didn't think that looked too good. And I was just hoping that he wasn't just like ditching the program. So I tweeted this out. So if anyone's on Twitter, by the way, follow my Twitter, JerseyEER. Give us a follow in there. But apparently he was seeing a specialist. So Rich Rodriguez actually alluded to this today. Tye Edwards is seeing a specialist for that hip pointer, it sounds like. And I'm not sure what his status is going to be. Man, what it sees this has been with Tye Edwards all off season, all season. You think he's going to be eligible. You find out at Big 12 Media Days that he's not going to be eligible. He gets a waiver. You get excited. We see glimpses of him. Finally gets carries against Pittsburgh. Does amazing against Pittsburgh. 25 carries, 141 yards, average 5.6 yards a carry and 3 touchdowns. And after that Pittsburgh game, we were like, all right, we got Tye Edwards at running back. Nico's the quarterback. We found our offensive identity. Literally after the Pitt game, I said, we found our offensive identity. And Nico's now gone. Tye Edwards has gotten like 2 carries since that game. It's just been a giant tease, really. So clock's ticking, though, on the season for this guy. There's 6 games left. And he's seeing a specialist at Birmingham, Alabama. I'm just not sure how promising that looks. And he's a guy that we would love to see shine in a West Virginia uniform, but it just stinks. And if he doesn't come back this week and we lose this game, he's going to come back. We're going to be like 2-5. At that point, like the season just feels kind of lost. And he's a guy that's running out of eligibility. So it's like, what was the point of this season anyway? I mean, he's going to go down as a West Virginia legend because of the game against Pittsburgh. But I was a little bit more hopeful for this guy. And you can't help injuries, but hopefully he can get back soon. We want to see him run for over 100 yards again. We want to see him get carries again. He looked like the best running back besides Jaheim White by far. So it could have, it's too bad we don't have him. We would have been amazing with Garrett Green in this Rich Rod offense. Yeah, I think that's the biggest shame about everything, Coop, is that if we would have had Garrett Green in this offense, it would have really enhanced this offense for sure. So it's too bad that we weren't able to get Garrett Green for this Rich Rod offense, because he would have really fit well with that offense, with what he could do with his feet, how he was as a passer, and just the grit he played with. It's too bad we didn't have Garrett Green. He could have gone for 2K plus. Same with Heisman. Yeah. So like I said, unfortunately, he's out of eligibility. We're kind of 1 year too late with seeing Garrett Green in the Rich Rod offense. Wish we could have seen that. Let's talk about a decommitment that happened today. Aaron Edwards, a safety. He said today, I would like to thank the West Virginia University and the entire football staff for welcoming me and supporting me to the organization. At this time, I've decided to decommit from WVU. My recruitment is now open. I mean, these things do happen, right? Players do decommit. So when they commit, they verbal commit, so they don't sign any papers. So it's not a shock that they would leave. I'm not sure what kind of advice this guy is getting from the people around him. Most of these kids have agents now, and there's definitely other people still in his recruitment trying to get him to come to his school. My point to him, though, is, was this a wise decision? I really like this kid's tape. I really think this kid is a talented player. He's one of the higher rated JUCO players, and West Virginia has had success with JUCO players in the past. And like I said, we have a ton of guys in the secondary and on this in defense as a whole that are not going to be returning next year. This guy might have had a chance to get some playing time right away, if he would have came into West Virginia. Now, never say never. It's not like he's saying West Virginia is out of the picture, but he did decommit. So I'm sure that's not going to look great to Rich Rodriguez of players committing and then decommitting. It's either you're in or you're out. So I highly doubt we see this guy in a West Virginia uniform, but I was a little surprised to see this decommitment today. Like I said, it was disappointing because I think this guy's a talented player and might have been able to see the field next year for West Virginia. Let's talk about out for the season. So if you didn't catch this, what's it called? Sir Paul Cheeks is out for the season. Sir Paul Cheeks is a talented running back. He was the number 41 overall running back in his high school class, 18th player in Virginia, 3-star player committed to West Virginia, but he tore his ACL and he's going to be out for the rest of his high school season. Not sure what the timeline is going to be for him in West Virginia moving forward for next season. Those things usually take months to rehab, so not sure what it's going to be like for him. Maybe he decides to redshirt next year. Who knows? Maybe he recovers quickly and is ready for fall camp, but definitely tough to see for him. I know injuries are part of the game, so hopefully he can get back healthy and be a factor for West Virginia in the near future because he is a talented player coming out of Virginia. Let's talk about some of the other stuff. Speaking of high school commits, Penn State has had a bunch of players decommit and reopen their recruitment following James Franklin's firing. We see two here, LeVar Keys and Matt Seig. LeVar Keys is a 3-star. Seig is a 4-star. I think West Virginia total today, according to X, had like 4 players that they reached out to that were committed to Penn State. Not say that we're going to get these guys. I mean, I'm sure that we're not the only school calling these guys. I'm sure their phones are absolutely blowing up right now with other schools, but just know that West Virginia is out there. They do see this, and they have been reaching out to some of these players to try to reopen that relationship with them. So you never know. Penn State has always recruited really talented players in our backyard. They love going to Virginia, Pennsylvania. They've even pulled guys from West Virginia, Ohio. They really go all over in the Northeast area. So we constantly compete for spots with them. So keep an eye on places like Virginia Tech. Keep an eye on Penn State and the guys that are decommitting from those schools. It could be opportunity for West Virginia to get some players and even guys that enter the portal, right? If guys enter the portal from those schools, we've seen talented guys come from those schools and be contributors to the West Virginia Mountaineers. So the Penn State thing fascinates me. I think James Franklin had a really close relationship with both players and recruits. So this might be an opportunity for West Virginia to get into some of these, to get in touch with some of these kids to try to get them to be Mountaineers. So just keep an eye on that. Other news that dropped today, West Virginia versus TCU, the Coal Rush game is going to be a 6 o'clock game. It's going to be on ESPN Plus, which kind of stinks. For me, I love the uniform. I think it's awesome how they pay homage to the West Virginia coal industry. I know a lot of West Virginians coal has provided them so much for their families and their livelihood. So it is cool that they honor that. It just stinks that it's going to be on ESPN Plus because besides West Virginia fans and TCU fans, who's going to really tune into that game? At least if this game's on Fox or on ESPN, it's on at the bars. People go channel surfing with the remotes. They can easily find it. It's not as easy to find games on ESPN Plus. So unfortunately, when your record is 2-4, you're not going to get primetime TV slots. And we've had some decent slots this year. We've played on Fox, we've played on ABC and ESPN, and we have not taken advantage of those in many situations. We look good against Pitt, but other than that, we haven't looked good at all. So unfortunately, when you struggle, you're going to be going on ESPN Plus. I think this week we play on TNT and HBO Max. So it's cool that the Coal Rush is coming. It's cool that that us West Virginia fans get a night game. So if you're going to the game, hopefully you get good weather and enjoy it. It's actually my birthday that day, which is kind of cool. But yeah, the Coal Rush game is going to be October 25th on ESPN Plus. Another cool story before we wrap this up is from the baseball team this week. They have MLB players, big leaguers, coming to work out their facilities. So James Wood, Trey Lipscomb, and Victor Scott, West Virginia alumni, checking out the facility today and working out there. West Virginia baseball has grown so much. I remember when I was in school there, it was still Holly Field, and it was just an afterthought. No one really went to baseball games. My senior year was when the stadium was done, and that's when it really started to catch fire. So seeing major league players use the facility is a really, really cool thing. I'm going to start getting into West Virginia baseball a lot more this year. Obviously, since I started this channel, I think it's going to be something that's going to be fun to talk about and do other sports as well. So looking forward to this. They've gained a lot of positive momentum and things like that. And that's all I have. So if you're a West Virginia fan, please remember to like and subscribe to the show. We really appreciate it. We're gaining some momentum. Again, we're approaching that 500 subscriber mark. So if you guys can keep following, commenting, sharing it with friends, we really appreciate it. That's all I got. Have a good rest of your night. Let's go Mountaineers. We'll talk to you guys soon.